Okay, we are going live on YouTube today. You know what? I'll tell you what. I was going to leave 25 and 26 to a couple of my students, but decided to do something different. I decided because you guys are subscribing and you're telling your friends, and we're getting more and more people on board the Saxophone Factory, that I would do something special this afternoon on this Monday's glorious Monday, and I would do 2 lessons back to back. I hope that doesn't screw you up. I'm going to do lesson 25 and 26, but we're going to do them live. Now, I can't, if you hop in live, I'm sorry, I can't see your comments, because first of all, the phone's way over there and I'm way over here, so I can't see your comments. But be sure to comment, please. Be sure to ask questions, put them down in the comment section, and I'll get back to them. You guys know I do. As quickly as we're done. So we're going to work out of, and if this is your first time with us, welcome. My name is Willie Lawson, and I work here at the Florida Academy of Performing Arts. I'm here in Tampa, Florida. Here in Brandon, Florida. Same kind of thing. So again, we've been working out of this book. You guys have seen this book before. This is the Rubank Elementary Method for Saxophone. And we are on lesson 26. Let me see if I can add some light to the situation. Hang on a second here. Nope, I made it a little better. So I hope to, I really hope that you've gotten a lot out of it. Some of you have commented, and I really, really appreciate it. So if you like what we do here, give this video a thumbs up. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe. Please share this with your friends, your saxophone mates, where you are, or somebody else who you know who is learning to play the saxophone. So we're going to get started. We're going to get started on lesson 25. Lesson 25 is in 6/8. Now, we've talked about 6/8 rhythms before, and what 6/8 means. It only means that there are 6 counts in every measure. That's it. 6 counts in every measure, and that an 8th note gets 1 count. I personally like the 8 rhythms because they're easier to read for me. So we're going to start on on exercise number 1. Exercise number 1 is in D major. It's got 2 sharps, F sharp and C sharp, and it has some rests in it that are going to take some navigating, but it shouldn't be too hard. Let's start on exercise 1, lesson 25 of the Rubank Elementary Method for Saxophone. Here we go. Try it again. Try it again. That got weird, right? Let's try it again. There you go. That's the danger of going live, right? You make a mistake, well, it's out there for the world to see. I'm okay because guess what? Making a mistake is not the worst part. Not recovering from that mistake is the worst part. Or not noticing is the worst part. Everyone's going to make mistakes because we're all stuck with that being a human thing. All right. We're going to do number 2. Number 2 is one of those duets. They write on the same. They write on the same line. You guys know I hate that. So here's what we're going to do. I want to play the top, and then I'm going to go back and play the bottom line. And then when you play it, the first time, you play the bottom line while I'm playing the top, and then vice versa. That way you can have a duet partner. I love duets. Here we go. Drink to me only with thine eyes. It's funny, I did this song for class voice when I was at university. And I used to know all the words to it. Scary, isn't it? Here we go. Again, I'm going to play the top, and while I'm playing the top, you play the bottom. Now I'm going to play the bottom, and then you play the top. All right, here we go. Drink to Me Only with Thine Eyes. Exercise 2, lesson 25, Rubank Elementary Method for saxophone. Now what's cool is that this gives you an opportunity to play the bis fingering, the alternate fingering for B flat, and the regular fingering for B flat in the same piece. And measure 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure I get it right. And measure 1, 2, 3. It drops from F to B flat back to E flat. Now we can play F, B flat, E flat, the regular F natural, then B flat on the side, and then E flat. Do it that way, or you can go from F to the bis B flat. If you remember, it's just the first finger covering the B and a little key there called the bis key. And bis is, as you guys know, French for alternate. So you could go. And then end the phrase with a regular B flat. So it gives you an opportunity to practice both. Because I'm of the mind that the bis fingering is just that, for special circumstances. It's like pulling out the good silverware, and you don't pull it out every night, because eventually it won't be the good silverware. All right, now I'm going to play the bottom line while you play the top line. Ready? And then you can put those together. I hate these because they're hard for me to see. And if I know they're hard for me to see, I know they're hard for you to see. Trying to pick out your part and they're all together. I wish they would just spend some money and redo these and have it so you can see it. But it is what it is, like they say. All right, number 3 on lesson 25 of the Rubank Elementary Method for saxophone. It has the dotted quarter note tied to the first eighth note to beat 4. B ba 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 B 1 ba 1 5 6 1 5 6 da 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 dee da dee da 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 dee da ba 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 bee ba bee ba 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 bee ba. That's basically the rhythm over and over again. Let's try it again. lesson 25 of the Rubank Elementary Method for Saxophone. Now lesson 4. German folk song, it's in the key of F, starts on beat what? That's right, beat 6. It's a conglomeration of the rhythms that we've already played on this page. It's got the dotted quarter notes tied to the eighth notes. It's got everything but rests. Let's try it. Kind of sounded like the bear went over the mountain for a second, didn't it? The bear went over the mountain and then it stopped doing that. There you go. That is all of lesson 25. So you might want to stop the video and work on lesson 25 before we go on to the second part. And before we go on to the second part, I want to, because it's got another one of those duets there, guy, I hate that. I want to talk to you a little bit about what we're doing here. I started the Saxophone Factory. Let me see if you can pull up a chair here. Hang on a second. There we go. Hang on a second here. Look at my nose. I started the Saxophone Factory because I really am of the mind that a lot of the videos here on YouTube that teach the saxophone or try to teach people about the saxophone take a more guitar approach. They want to teach you songs and they want to teach you tips and tricks, when the idea is that most of us, what we need are the very basics. I want to teach you about the saxophone and about music in a way that all you have to do really is take the basics and then you can play whatever you want. You can play jazz or country or folk or classical or whatever you want. I don't want you to be hooked into a certain style of music, because a lot of the YouTube videos on saxophone are a certain style of music. They're trying to teach you a certain style. I don't care about what style you play. I want you to play music. I want you to play the saxophone. So that's why, if you're wondering why I don't do that, is why I don't care about that. I'm trying to teach you the very basics. If I can get you to learn the basics, then what you're going to be able to do is your saxophone future is going to be very bright, because you're going to be able to play whatever you want. That's what I'm trying to do. All right, and whether you're here in my studio or if you are subscribed to the page, and I appreciate you greatly if you subscribe to the channel. It's great. I'm going to answer a couple of questions. People have asked me what kind of instrument do I play. I play a Yamaha 52, YAS 52. It was the intermediate series. Looks pretty good for how old she is, isn't it? It was the intermediate series when they had the 23, the 52, and the 62, the intermediate series. And I bought it right here at the store I work at. The kind of mouthpiece I use a Sigurd Rascher mouthpiece, which is an open chambered mouthpiece that gives me my more classical sound. This is based on the original design of the saxophone mouthpiece, and I play this is a size 3 Van Doren reed on this, and the sound I get is the sound I get because of it. I'll tell you what, I've played this very same setup. I was in a jazz quartet, and I use this very same setup, and it's sort of like if Sigurd Rascher was playing jazz, or if Zach was playing jazz. Because this is what the instrument is supposed to sound like. Now you can play. Now there's also some mouthpieces and setups out there that gives you any number of sounds. My jazz mouthpiece is I have a New York Meyer mouthpiece. It's a 5M medium opening, and I normally play a Lavaz medium soft reed on it. Generally speaking, with reeds and mouthpieces, because this is questions that I get asked, the larger the tip opening. And the tip opening is simply the distance between the top of the mouthpiece and the reed up here. The larger the tip opening, the softer the reed. That way you can actually play it, and you can have more control over it and more control over the pitch. The smaller the tip opening, like on these mouthpieces, normally speaking, the harder the reed. Generally speaking, the harder the reed. That way they don't close up, and again, you can have more sound. You can have more control over the pitch. People didn't like these initially, but a lot of people didn't like them because they didn't think they could blow hard enough. But the problem is they were using reeds that were too soft. Use a little harder reed, and then they'll project. So if that's what you've heard about open chambered mouthpieces, most people are using reeds who can't project are using reeds that are too soft. They're using size 2.5 or 2 reeds on them, and you can't project with that. So you need a harder reed, maybe a 3 or a 3.5. I have friends who use 4s on these because the tip opening is so small that you really need to get some air in there for it to project. All right, I think I'm gonna stay seated. I like being seated. Like I said in the previous video, it really doesn't matter. Now we're going to do lesson 26. Lesson 26. I'll move this over here and turn at you so you can see at least my left hand. Lesson 26 has some more 6/8 rhythms, some that are a little bit more complicated. Let's look at number 1 on lesson 26. We're going to first look at the time signature. Again, one more time, the time signature is 6/8. There are 6 counts in every measure, and an eighth note gets 1 count. So if an eighth note gets 1 count, then a 16th note gets half count. Exactly. So let's look at the rhythm on exercise 1A. There is an eighth note, 2 16th notes, and then 4 eighth notes. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. And then there's a dotted quarter tied to an eighth note for 4 counts. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. Right? That's how we're starting. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to do number 1 on lesson 26, A. We're going to do just that one. And you might have to play it a couple of times to get used to it. Here we go. Number 1A. Number 1A. Lesson 26. Okay? One, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. You get it? All right. Now on number 1B, we have the eighth note tied to the first 16th note. 1 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. 1 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 and 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. B. Exercise 1 on lesson 26. Here we go. And again, if I'm going too fast, stop the video, start it again. Okay? Here we go. B. We're going to do B one more time. Number 1, B. The eighth note is tied to the first 16th note. 1 and 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, and 1C, they take the tie out and they put a dot in to the first eighth note. Now that we've learned in my dotted eighth note video or dotted note video that the dot adds half of the note's normal value. Now in 6/8, an eighth note gets 1 count, right? Gets 1 count. So if you add half to 1, you get 1 and a half, or a 16th note. and they're all mushing it together. 1 and 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, that's the way that they wrote it. If you look at C, number 1C, 1 and 3, 4, 5, 6. Instead of writing the tie, they got rid of the tie or put a dot next to the 8th note and then wrote the other 16th note in and then the rest of it. C, number 1C. And that's number 1. If you need more practice, stop the video, back it up, and do it again. Take your time. Please take your time. Now, number 2 is in the key of B flat to start with, so make sure we play right notes. And it's that first rhythm that we did in A, 1A, over and over and over again. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we go. Number 2 on lesson 26, Rubank Elementary Method for saxophone. Now, if you have trouble tonguing that quickly, slow it down. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. If you can't tongue that fast, slow it down. Okay? There you go. If it's too fast, slow it down. Now, in number 3, it's in the key of D. There's an F sharp and a C sharp, and it goes to the tied rhythm. It shows the tied rhythm first and the dotted rhythm, which is exactly the same. First measure. The 8th note is tied to the 16th note. On the D, on beat 1, and on the A on beat 4. Now, in measure 3 of number 3, they have got the dotted rhythm, which should sound exactly the same. Why? Because the dot adds, say it with me, the dot adds half of the note's normal value. That's all it does. All right, let's see if we can get through number 3 without any mistakes. It's scary when you're doing this live. Here we go. There you go. Again, when they tie the 8th note to the first 16th note, that's just like a dotted 8th note. Okay. Now, the number 4 is one of those duets that they write all smushed together. Golly, I hate that. But it's Silent Night. And it has the dotted 8th, 16th, 8th rhythm that we just did. Here we go. I'm going to play the top. And I'll stop and go back and play the bottom. And while I play the top, you play the bottom. And while I play the bottom, you play the top. Okay? Cool. Now I'm going to play the bottom. You play the top. One, ready? There you go. And yes, somewhere buried in there is an opportunity to use the alternate fingering for C. Did you find it? I'm not going to tell you. If you did, write it in the comments. Awesome. All right, here we go. And number 5 on lesson 26, and this is going to be the end of our live, is "Believe Me, All Those Young Endearing Young Charms," which is another song I sang for a class voice midterm, I think. I didn't take it very seriously. I probably should have. And it's a conglomeration, a bunch of the rhythms that we've done in lesson 26, and lesson 25, and lesson 24, all in one song. All right, again, wish me luck. It's in the key of F. Hope I don't make any mistakes. You know, we are live. Live. Here we go. Yeah. All right, I did it. Alrighty. There you go. And there's opportunities there to use the bis fingering for B flat as well. Find them. And if you find one that you think is a good opportunity, write it in the comments below. Listen, I really like that some of you are really starting to engage, and I really enjoy that you are getting benefit, you're getting value out of this. So now we are all caught up from lesson 1 up through 27, and we will start on lesson 28 very soon. And again, it's got one of those horrible duets, hard to read, but we'll get through it. And we're going to start concentrating on some higher notes above the staff. And if you need a review, go back to lesson 27 and review lesson 27 for sure. You want to start slowly and then speed up, but accuracy is really the key. It's more important to be right than to be fast. Again, I hope that you're getting value of this. I hope that you enjoyed it. Again, my name is Willie Lawson. I am the progenitor of the Saxophone Factory here on YouTube. Please, again, like and subscribe. If you like this video, give this video a thumbs up. The more thumbs up it gets, the more that YouTube sees it and likes it and puts it in suggested videos so others can find it. So thank you again. I appreciate you greatly. So until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, y'all take care of yourself. We'll see you when we see you. Bye-bye now.